Greetings, family. Welcome to Mother Africa. This is your servant, Mother Africa. You see, me, anything concern Africa, that's my home. So I do appreciate it. And there is a particular history that I've never heard it before. And you see, in Africa, we need to write our own story, our own history. It comes to a point that our history, our heritage, everything is being written by the Westerners, and they do rotate in that to suit them in their own comfort zone. There is this man in Ghana here, Black Rasta. We all know him, how controversies he is, sometimes in a positive manner, sometimes in a negative manner, and you can't really describe Black Rasta on his stand. And in fact, he's one of the people that sometimes he will bring you a particular history or a story of Africa that you might never heard it before. And this one is surely about a particular pastor who is from Ghana but started his ministerium from Uganda. You see, Uganda is a hub for this kind of spiritual churches and religiosity, and that it is rampant in West Africa. But when you come to Uganda, hi, my brother, forget about it. And there is a particular prophet that Black Rasta is giving, how do I put it? Is it palatable, suitable, or interesting history about this pastor and his legacy continuing, although the man has passed on. And this is a great history that I think we all need to hear. And as to how Black Rasta get this information, according to him, he went to Uganda and the information was delivered to him, and he has to also publish this information. And to me too, when I get the information, I think it is a history that all black person needs to know. You see, someone like TB Joshua also have, being it positive or negative, he has made a history that this history need to be written down for future reference, review, learning of our past mistakes and correcting it, and so on and so forth. So for me not to waste time, let's just watch the video. But before we watch the video, please do me a favor by subscribing to the channel, share and like it. And maybe after watching the video, then you can share your opinion on the comment section. Let's just watch the video.
Wow! Mystery church in Uganda that worships dead Ghanaian prophet. I just came back from Uganda only yesterday. I flew all the way from Accra, Ghana, through the Jomo Kenyatta Airport in Nairobi, and I arrived right there inside Entebbe. And of course, in Uganda, I saw so many beautiful things. That is me standing right there, in fact, ready to go on the highway, all the way down from Entebbe through the heart of Kampala. My brother, my sister, where was I going? I was going to the Kakande Ministries, headed and founded by a great prophet of the land, and his name is Prophet Samuel Kakande. Oh, Lord God have mercy. Yes. Now, this prophet of God is so respected in Uganda. In fact, miracles are so hot in his church. My brother, my sister, he has a version of the synagogue church of all nations, the Kakande Ministries. And we are soon going to link up that. This huge edifice sits right there in the heart of Kampala. This is where all the action is. Security is very tight. Police and soldiers parading the whole place, and they have gadgets to detect metals and other offensive weapons that might be taken in there. And when it's time for people to go in there and worship, they are in long winding queues, ready for inspection, as if they were going into an airport. My brother, my sister, he has a sitting capacity of over 25,000 people. This beautiful edifice. And this edifice here, my brother, my sister, was actually inaugurated in 2024 by the president of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That is him standing here. Now, this prophet here is called Prophet Samuel Kakande. Oh my God, have mercy. He was a man who grew up very poor. In fact, he is Muganda by ethnicity. And he was born somewhere in 1969, my brother, my sister. Oh yes, 1969, he was born. As a poor boy, growing up without his father, having been lost to death, he moved all the way to Tanzania to start learning a trade. He started learning carpentry. And then, whilst he was in Tanzania, struggling to make a living, my brother, my sister, he realized that it wasn't that easy on the streets. He had lost hope. He was so sick. And then he rushed back to Uganda. And that was the beginning of everything for him. And that is the beginning of the story today. Now, my brother, my sister, he is the founder of this huge church. Oh my God, have mercy. And that is the church we are talking about. I had the privilege to go into the church. And there you can see me sitting down there, my brother, my sister. And that is the photo of the prophet at the back there with beautiful smiles. Oh my God, have mercy. And the inside of the church, watch this, the Temple Mount Church of All Nations. And you see people kneeling down there and praying. It is the same way these people who are members of the church and believe in power also kneel down before a certain photograph. The photograph of a powerful prophet who came all the way from Ghana. My brother, my sister, Prophet Reverend John Obiri Yaboa. This is the prophet we're talking about. In fact, in the church, there is a painting of him showing the Ghana colors, red, yellow, and green. There you can see him standing there in the church. And you see that thing that is in front there. It is just for people to kneel down and go into the spirit and pray for the life of this great prophet. And also, in fact, seep into the spirit and pray for whatever it is. Not necessarily, my brother, my sister, asking for help from this man, but taking inspiration from his life. And you can see John 1 all the way to 12. The shining star of Ghana that went all the way into Uganda. And today in the church, my brother, my sister, he is so worshipped. What does it mean when we say worship? What does the dictionary say about the word worship? Let's get it clear and we'll go deeper into the story. Now look at this. The Oxford Dictionary says, if you say worship, it means the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. So that has to be with God and spirituality. Now the second meaning, which is right here, says used in addressing or referring to an important or high-ranking person, especially a magistrate or a mayor. Dash it away. Now my brother, my sister, this man here called Prophet John Obiri Yaboa is more than just respected in the church. How did it all happen? Now, this prophet of God was born on the 10th of July in 1937 in Konongo. An Akan man born into a royal home. He would have waited to take his turn in becoming the king from the royal home. But no, at a very young age, he was so interested in the things of God. He would go onto the mountains and pray. He would fast. And everybody knew that he was more than just spiritual. This is the man we're talking about, Prophet John Obiri Yaboa. Then, at a point, he said he had heard the voice of God speaking to him, that he would take him to a certain land that he had never been to. And there he would propagate his message. He himself did not know where he was going. He started the journey, and when he arrived in Uganda, trying to move on in 1972, he was told by God again that this is where I am bringing you to. Stop here and preach the word of God. The little he saw about the area, he knew it was not going to be easy. If God probably had told him whilst he was in Ghana that this was where he was taking him to, he might have behaved like Jonah. by refusing to go to the people of Nineveh, in this case, Uganda. But God took him there before he told him, this is where I'm bringing you to. At the time, there was Christianity. There was also Islam, but Christianity was weak. And he started charismatism, Christian charismatism, right there inside Uganda. At a time when they were worshiping mountains, worshiping trees, worshiping water bodies, and so on and so forth. And witch doctors, sangomas, had taken over the whole land. This is Prophet John Obiri Yabua. He left the royal home. As a king, he came all the way to Uganda and became a servant. He couldn't speak the language. He started to preach in English. His accent was so much loved in the area. Many people mocked him. They threw stones at him sometimes. Some threw rotten oranges at him. But all he said was, Father, forgive them for they know not. It's because of you, Father, I'm here. Until you say I should leave, there's no way I will leave. I will be with these people. He preached and preached. But the thing that many people got to know about this man was power. He could heal, prophesy. Many people will come to the marketplace just to watch him prophesy one after the other, heal people, and even raise the dead. Come here. He raised the dead. My brother, my sister, this is Prophet John Obiri Yabua. It was in the days of a very dangerous dictator known as Idi Amin Dada. And you know what Idi Amin Dada did? He had heard about this prophet coming all the way from Ghana. He had heard about Kwame Nkrumah. He had heard about the power that this man exuded. He sent his soldiers to go spy on him. And when they went, they realized that the prophet was actually a man of power, exuding the power that he claimed he had. They told Idi Amin about how he was able to raise the dead, how he was able to heal. And Idi Amin, in fact, called him over, summoned him to him. And when he met with him, that is him and Idi Amin, Idi Amin held his hand and told him, hey, you, I hear you can heal the dead. I hear you have so much power. He said, it's a lie, Your Excellency. I don't have any power. The power belongs to Jesus Christ, my Master and Savior, who brought me all the way from Konongo and brought me right here into this country. He said, well, I need you to do one thing for me. I need you to pray for me so that I will become president for life. Obiri Yabua, the prophet of God, looked at Idi Amin and said, you will be president for life if only you can accept to do one thing. Idi Amin looked at him and said, why you want me to be a Christian? No, I am a Muslim. He said, no, stop killing people. Stop terrorizing people. Stop shedding innocent blood. And God is going to use you as a tool to shaping this country called Uganda. You have the power, but you are using it in the wrong direction. He looked at the man and said, so are you going to pray for me? He said, until you promise to stop killing the innocent people. He said, I don't kill innocent people. I kill my enemies. Do you want me to stop killing my enemies? If I don't kill my enemies, they will kill me. At that time, this was a man who believed in so much juju, even though he was a Muslim. He would eat human flesh because it was believed in his ethnicity that when somebody dies and you eat their flesh, it will make you invincible and you will defeat death. Idi Amin was not ready to give up any of this. Come here. Now watch this. My brother, my sister. Idi Amin Dada pushed the prophet to pray for him. And the prophet told him, I would only pray for you if you accept to do this. Idi Amin was not ready to stop the killing. So the prophet decided not to pray for him. And then the prophet decided to go away. He said, you can't go away. You claim you can raise the dead. He brought some dead bodies from the morgue. His soldiers went and brought dead bodies and he asked him to raise the dead bodies immediately. He wanted to find a way to humiliate the prophet and also to make him one of his victims. The prophet looked at the dead bodies, frozen like that, and he was praying. He started to pray. All of a sudden, there was a certain confusion. Gunshots were heard outside Idi Amin's home, And he quickly had to rush out with his soldiers to see exactly what was happening. That was when Prophet John Obiri Yeboah decided to take his chance. He walked out of where the meeting was taking place and straight to the Entebbe airport. In fact, in front of police and soldier, they couldn't recognize him. He walked out of Idi Amin's home and went straight to the Entebbe airport, this airport, and flew all the way back to Ghana. But before the plane took off, he went down on his knees and prayed and cursed Uganda for 16 solid years. They will never know peace. And within that period, Idi Amin was used as a tool to destroy Uganda. He killed people by heart, terrorized the people of Uganda. He became one of the most carnivorous dictators that country ever had for 16 solid years. Now, this man that we're talking about today is an interesting story, and I need you to open your ears and listen with rapt attention. When he arrived in Uganda, he didn't know where he was going. He claimed he heard the voice of God, but he asked a certain taxi driver to drive him all the way to a certain place. The driver said, "No, I am here to pick up somebody from the airport. I cannot pick you." He said, "The person is not arriving today. He will come tomorrow." The driver was shocked. He said, "What do you mean? Do you know the person?" He said, "Jesus Christ knows the person. And Jesus Christ is telling me you would wait here in vain. The person you are coming to pick from the airport, you will never see him till tomorrow." My brother, my sister, they waited for 4 hours. Between 2 and 4 hours, when the driver was tired, checked all the flights, his client was not coming. He finally decided to take the prophet to where the prophet himself did not know. He established his church, and then he called it the Redeemed Church of Uganda. My brother, my sister, the Redeemed Church of Uganda. Before then, he named it the Word Temple of Uganda and changed it to the Redeemed Church of Uganda, the father of charismatism in Uganda. When Idi Amin chased him out in 1972, he returned to Ghana, waited for how long? When the 16 years of curse went away and Idi Amin was chased out, a new president had come. 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 Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. He went back to Uganda after the curse was over. This was somewhere in 1987. He re-established the church. The church blew and became so big and huge. Very big and huge. My brother, my sister, and enemies came again. The Ugandans were not ready for the gospel. They believed in their gods, the mountains and the rivers and the spirits. There was a very dangerous man. He was a witch doctor who had lived in Benin, though he was Ugandan, and they believed that he had so much power. He was called Matia Kabuka Kiganira. That's him. Very dangerous witch doctor. He could command rain to fall. He could command thunder and lightning to spread. He could make thunder strike, lightning flash. And it was even said that he could curse people and they would go home and die. Matia Kibuka Kiganira. That is him. One day, Prophet John Obiri Yeboah was preaching at the marketplace, evangelizing, when this dreaded witch doctor came around and said, "Hey, you are going to die within 7 days. You defy our gods, you will see. 7 days you will die." The prophet raised his Bible, hit his head a couple of times, and said, "The Lord God that I serve says that you would not yourself even live to see 7 days. You will die after 3 days." And that was what happened. He carried his gauze. He had to go and drop some incantations and some kind of things in the middle of the Lake Victoria. And there he was in a boat with two of his disciples when the red cross came out of the clouds, shining, and hit him on his head, splitting his head into two. He fell into the water, and that was the end. But his two disciples lived to see what happened and also to tell the story. This story even made Reverend Prophet John Obiri Yabua even more famous. He preached the word, but it wasn't long when he told the people that very soon he will be going home. They thought he was probably saying he was going back to Konongo, right here in Ghana. My brother, my sister, he looked left and he looked right, still preaching the word, the gospel to the people of Uganda. My brother, my sister, on the 10th day of July, oh my God, have mercy, he said bye-bye to the whole world in 1987. Oh my God. He left in death, and Uganda came to a standstill. But before he died, he had raised a little boy. The little boy that we started talking about, Samuel Kakande, the Muganda boy who had lost his father, was sick and dying, went to Tanzania to learn carpentry. He came home sick. He said, "You shall make it." And there's a video of Kakande himself talking about Obiri Yabua, praying for him. There is a video of this man himself talking about it. My brother, my sister, talking about the fact that, hey, this was the man who prayed for me when I was sick and suffering. If we have the video, play it.
Kakande was a blessed man because Prophet John Obiri Yabua from Ghana said, "Young man, you are sick and poor." That was 86. But read Deuteronomy 8:18.
And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth, that you may establish His covenant, which is sworn to your fathers, as it is this day.
Who gives you power to get wealth? But if this power is not multiplied, you grow weak and you cannot get rich. It is He who gives you power to get wealth. Rise up.
This is the voice of Prophet Samuel Kakande. And in the church, Prophet John Obiri Yabua is more than just honored. They have an anthem in the church. It is the biggest church in Uganda. Undoubtedly, many people say it is even the biggest in the whole of East Africa. The Kakande Ministries. This man here is a crazy philanthropist. He gives money and food to the people of Uganda as if he owns Uganda and owns everything. Now this man here called Prophet Samuel Kakande has very little education, but he's been able to have presidents visit his church. He was the one who bought TB Joshua his very first car. In fact, after Prophet John Obiri Yabua passed on to eternity, he went to TB Joshua, Prophet TB Joshua, and asked him to mentor him. He helped to build the Synagogue Church of All Nations, and he decided to duplicate the church in Uganda. My brother, my sister, the Mount Temple. He does his things just like Prophet TB Joshua. But in his church, even though Prophet TB Joshua is mentioned, and you find his pictures at one or two places, Prophet John Obiri Yabua has his photos all over. And there's even an anthem in the church that is sung in Muganda, his language, in praise and honor of this prophet. Listen to it. You might not understand the language, but there's a translation. Listen. It's a very powerful song. It's talking about when he came to Uganda, how people mocked him, disgraced him, and chased him out. But he still stood there to be able to preach the word and the gospel. He left his kingdom in Ghana, his kingship, his honor and his wealth, and came to Uganda to open the eyes of the people in the ways of God. My brother, my sister, today when you go to Uganda, this man is so honored that if you are a Ghanaian and you go into the Kakande church, you are treated like a queen or a king. A queen or a king. The prophet honors Ghanaians. Every time he honors where his blessing came from. A man who took him from nothing, mentored him, fed him, and at the end of the day, led him to the Spirit of God. It's a mystery church in Uganda. And over there, they honor a Ghanaian prophet who is not even known by Ghanaians. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And interestingly, Prophet Samuel Kakande himself is a very wealthy person. He's a businessman. He's not a lazy man. He has farms all over Uganda. In fact, all over Uganda, he has farms. He also is engaged in so many other businesses, my brother, my sister. And these businesses are raking in so much money. As it was said, he is also a crazy philanthropist. My brother, my sister, a philanthropist who gives out to the poor. So many people are in school, courtesy this man, paying so much for their education and even more. Prophet Samuel Kakande. There are pictures of him on the farms. My brother, my sister, yes, that's Prophet Kakande there. And he is a strong, powerful farmer. In fact, sometimes he even drives the combine harvester himself or the plowing tractor himself, my brother, my sister, in the farm to be able to plant and feed the nation. He himself hardly has time for himself because of the, work. He hardly eats. He's so slim and he's always giving glory to his maker. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power.
Ano kwamo mianka na awodi ni papi na ekwati timu pao. Amani pampempema wali agu. Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Awo, wamo yadie se. Wambe muwenya basisi ya. Yadie biti se stroke, gonorrhea, anabama wale mre ewampamu. Low sperm count. Wamo wanu adro tatashe. Enije samne se sabani sunsumu nsama. Wamo telete. Se ye sunsumu awariye. Anasa yariye bini yadi ama wo. Pampabone anabo. Anawanya abai amani e court case. Wabetu charge osisia. Enam omajuma panti. Ni pampempem enebe fomu kofie. Ekwaye sunsumu nyuma edimomo. Samosini ene enzimani akabomu dia. Sunsumu niyama asiye betu. Obi aje ukunu. Anasa wayere. Awaresem. Ejuma sam. Akwantuomu nsam. Nina aya sumasam. Father Dine Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Ubehuyan of
New Kufuridia, a Joso Nekonongo, Infinfin, Aye Ashanti region. A horn my number Aye Didi Jumano Aye 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421.
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Yebe diwa samamao.